Welcome back, and this is the second part of a super shop making game. And so far lastly we create that item by the system, not fully, but like we can them in a assigned place. So now what you're going to do is we are going to be make system where once we have the pick in that item, we are able to drop that item single by single. For example, there we have the 2 bottles, so we can drop the bottles here. Suppose in here we can drop the potato and here the tomato. Also we need that system so it can be have the countation, like how many bottles this have and how many it can contain or how much it sell out. Okay, so let's make the system. Now at here, what I'm going to do is, because we already have the items in our here, but you also need to remember that those are separate BP and those have their own attachment system, and then they have the reference data. So now because we have those data at here, like which is signed or not, you have to get the sort as well, like which slot it's going to be used. Okay, now it can be problematic as well. Like suppose if I pick the tomato first, like here, it's also coming in first place, then second, then third. Those are coming in random. It's all depends on our pickup system, so we can't literally set in any specific slot. We can set them in an array, so at the later we can basically get those all the data and assign them by their category and types. So first at here, let's create a variable called items, and we'll create as a actor. So just keep it as an actor and object reference, and we have to make it in an array so we can contain lots of them. So let's get our item, and we'll be at add unique item. Now at here we'll be just simply connect with this slot and simply connect from our actor reference. Okay, to be honest, if you want, for now we can bypass those same one at here because it's only going to be effect. Okay, because it's all going to be depends on the execution it's going to be have. So we can keep it for now, we can use it like that, and later if we think that we need some more connection or blueprints, there we have to change it. Okay, now compile and save it. Now we have whatever item will be picked, we have those data in our items. Okay, perfect. When we have this thing, now we have the item, we know that item reference, and now we have to make that drop system or the like basically the boxes or this tray system, like we're going to be assigned, or the aisle basically which you call. So let's go to the create an item. Because this is an item, actually I'm going to create another folder. Let's control it, name that tray, and inside of the tray let's create an actor. Let's create the BP tray. So in our BP tray, that will be our drop and pickup zone. So first we have to give a box collision so our character can easily overlap it. Okay, and after that, once we have this thing, now we need a system where we are able to add some sockets or give it a shape like it's a some sort of place that where it can be hold the item. So suppose like this, let's create another duplicate like this, and one more like this, I guess so. Let me now check in here. Let's see how it's look at here. Yeah, pretty much okay. Even it can be go some more top, but let's keep it how it was. Also we'll add another cube from here, make it some bigger like this. Okay, you can literally create I guess the better option is to create basically a simple mesh from Blender. It's going to be work much better. Okay, so this is going to be our tray rack. Okay, now we have to attach it at somewhere. So once we are dropping it, we have we can basically do some stuff with this. Right now at here we literally can add a socket with it. Okay, that is a special thing. So I think the best option is to go with a Blender model. because I don't want to use the default cubes and assign them. Okay, so let's create a simple but before that let's import some UE meshes so we are able to understand the size actually, because this is so crucial. Okay, so we can understand the size. Now I'm not so much perfect at the modeling, so I'm going to keep it like simple as much as possible and easy for me to set up. Yep, I think that's okay. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now at here I have to add some cuts. Look, I don't know the best method because I'm not the 3D artist. There's maybe more better way to do it, but I'm just going which way I know actually. Limited discover, so I'm going to use this, and between this I need a cut so I am able to get a gap. So I'm going to use this one as well. Limited discover. Okay, now I need one more gap here like this, and I'm going to use this limited discover. And lastly about this one, again I'm going to get a cut, and also in the bottom I will need a cut, and I'm going to use those one as a limited discover. And now we are pretty much here to go with. Okay, now what I'm going to do first, I'm going to make an insert with the eye, and I'm going to scale it some inside. I think it will be much easier. Oh yeah, first I have to extrude it. I think that will be much better. Okay, now we can again extrude it and go inside of it. See, it look much better. I think it's more look like a bookshelf, but for now it's work for me. Okay, what we can do, I think I can shrink some it. Maybe, I'm not sure. Look, as I said, I'm not the actual 3D artist. I know some basic of it to use, so just leave me. Don't mind in my modeling. I think it's look much better. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. So we can now have some more space. It's more look like a bookshelf. I don't know why, but it's work for me. Okay, now once we have everything, just now what I'm going to do, just reset the location, and I'm going to remove a character, and I'm going to just make it as it should be, all transform, and voila, we have the meshes that we are looking for. Now file, export, FBX, and download. Let's give it name that Prey, and I have the model preset, export, and for now I don't need anything more, so I'm just putting a chair. In a food mesh, oh, I should create a folder called a mesh, so a mesh. I think that would be much easier to understand. Okay, now at here I have a tray system, so tray mesh. Okay, now let's import it. Tray import. I know that it should be give an error because it's need a material. Let's give it name that tray mat, and instead of a tray mat we'll be promote a variable, and we'll be just give it a gray color. I think that will be great for it. Okay, now I'm going to assign that material the tray mat at here. Okay, perfect. And now we have to lastly remove the collisions, because I'm not going to be use that collisions, but yeah, also I'm going to use that, so I'm removing the default one and I add a new collision with a box, which is so perfect. I don't know how it's become so satisfying. Wow. Okay, cool. Now let's go back to our tray, and remove all of those things. And now because we have this thing, so we can literally remove those things and add a static mesh with a tray, and voila, we have our mesh that we are looking for. We have the accurate scale and everything. Now I have to adjust this one and it's going to be perfect. Okay, see, so this is actually the mesh and it should be okay. Now we can make this sorted here. So create a socket. Let's give it name then IT1. And to understand this thing, let me add this thing. Wow, which is very big. Oh my god. I think now I have to understand one more thing. We can give the sort size. You can see, 0.5, I guess I should, and actually I need some more space between this thing, but I'm not what I did, so leave it. So 0.6, 0.6, 0.6. Let's look better. To save it. Now I don't know if there's any way to duplicate it. Yep, it's have a duplicate option, which is cool. Okay, at last we can add keep 2 items. So let's give it at least 6 items per set. So it will be look better. Okay, for now let's keep it like this thing. I want to, what the heck, why is it 3 gone? Okay, let me just rename it to IT1, IT2, IT3. Why are actually the socket renamer IT3, and lastly it should be the IT4. Okay. Then now let's create another socket, but it's going to be for tomato. The potato, let's use the potato mesh. Like here, let's give the scale size to default one. I think that would be great. Now about to snap it on the position, you can see you can basically remove the grid system, so you are able to get a much better result. And when you are working like this thing, keep your camera speed low, which is give you fast. Okay, now let's give it that ITP1, which is potato. Ooh, voila, it's look amazing. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not sure why it's giving it names such as like the stupid one. Come on man, come. You should stay here. Okay, IP3. Okay, lastly we have to work with tomato, and I think that will be enough to make this demonstrate the system. Duplicate it again. Let's grab it here, and as usual we give it name ITP, which is tomato. Yay, tomato. Wow, why the tomato look like ball? I'm not sure. Okay, because the tomato are so big, I'm going to keep them in a full tray. Let's first duplicate those things. So TT2, TT2, TT3. So make sure we have to keep the sort number of the name because it's going to be assigned at here. Okay, so this is actually our sort system right now. We don't see it here because those are all socket. Okay, we have to now assign them to here, like in our tray system. So now we have to make the assigning system. So custom event that assign. So, or let's keep it named that set system, where what we can do is we have to understand which type of item it is and where it's going to be go. Okay, So that is a thing, like we have to now understand, like whether it's a potato or whether it's a tomato. So I think I should rename it some more easy, like if it's the bottle socket, so SB, which is socket of bottle, so it will be much easier. Okay, so I can understand. So SB2, SB3 and SB4. Because it's a potato, let's give it the SP, SP2, SP3, and lastly this is tomato, so ST and ST2 and ST3. Okay, now we have some more organized one at here in the socket system, so we can get it and attach component, attach actor to component, because those are actors, we have to attach with the component. So this is our parent and this socket name. Now we can assign it. Now we have to understand like which category are they and where they would go. Okay, that is the now a thing that we have to do some calculation. Okay, now at here on the tray system, in the food, we have to make them a category, like which category are they. So based on that, it's going to be easy for us to assign them without verifying whether they are those, whether they are that, because you know, this system is so dynamic. Like this one is so dynamic that we can input like the same BP working for everyone. So we have to now make them in a category, like this is a water bottle, potato or tomato, which type of category. To make this system, I'm going to make a enums system where it's going to be contain all the data. So type data, so type food. Even you have to understand this system will going to be help us in our future as well, even for this whole selling those items, okay, and pricing them. Okay, now at here we can create some enum like string, which is going to be water, tomato and potato. So those are have the data. Now we'll save it, and once we save it, now we can basically assign them at here. So just open the food BP, create a variable, let's give it that food type, let's give it name that type food. Oh, sorry, TUI type food. I just misspelled it. So let me just fix it at here. And then let me just rename it to type food. And now save it. And here we are go. Now at here and in our here in the type food, now you can see that we have those split system, that potato, tomato or water. So compile them, and now at here we have to make it expose, so we can set it. So in the food system, we are going to be edit and exposed on spawn, compile and saved, and now voila, we have this thing. Now let's set the category like potato, tomato. Okay, now once we have the signed data, now we can use it at here in our tray system. Now from the actor we can bypass it, so let's give it the actor ref like this. Let's give it name that actor, or not the name, we'll get the object reference. So compile, save it. Okay, from here let's connect it. Because this is an actor, now we can basically bypass the data with class to food, pp food, so we can directly get the enum of that data, specific one. And from here will be give that food type, will be basically get that food type. Based on that food type, so we'll be add a switch, so we can use this switch or I guess select system. The switch will be much better, so switch the food, so it will be automatically give us the name. Okay, so depends on the food type, we are going to be assign the data. Now if it's a water bottle, it should be go in SP1, SP2 or SP3, depends on the sort are available. Okay, based on our used. Okay, it's more like some more complex. Maybe there's a more simple ways to simplify way, so I have to research on it, so I will check it later, but for now let's go with the system. So in our socket we have available of 4 socket of water. Okay, so that is bottle. So we have almost 4 bottle of socket, so we can assign if it's in a water category. So at here what I'm going to do is, it's much better to make an array, but at here let's go with a boolean. Let's give it the SP which is SB, which is bottle, socket of bottle, SB2 up, forget to give it the name SB2, SB3, SB4. Okay, cool. We have these sockets. Now we have to just make them in a branch. And guys, don't worry, in next video I try to make it some more optimized, or we'll try to make it more optimized way and even more organized way as well. So those will be the first. So if in the water, it will be first try to assign it at here, whether it's assigned or not. If it's not assigned, which is eventually it will give you the false result actually. Okay, so I'm going to annotate it as a true. So if it's a true SB1, it's going to be working in the second one, and it's going to be try automatically repeatedly. Otherwise, if it's come false, which is by default value, it just means this doesn't have this any socket data, so we can assign it at here with our object reference, which is here. We can directly connect the actor. Now at here we can give the socket name, which is SB. Okay, and we can make it snap target, and snap target, and we can now assign here the variable with the true. So it's going to be assigned this variable. Okay, hey bro, this is a bottle right now, so you can't go there, so it's a true. So now it have to go in a second state. Okay, so we'll be do pretty much this thing with the with our 3 socket. Okay, now at here I can, because it's actor, I can pick it from here directly. Okay, about the parent, it's same. I can pray and make it edit pray like this thing. Okay, now for this one, for SB2 will be like give this SB2, and will be simply assign it, replace with the very boolean with SB2. And now at here on SB3, so this is the same thing, just rename the socket with SB3 and boolean replaced with SB3. At here, if it's a, now this one is a thing, like if it's a false, so then we get here. And lastly, because this is SB4 here, and lastly we will change with the variable as before. Now compile and save. So we have the basically the socket system right now. Because we have the socket system, now we are able to assign it at here. Okay, so suppose what I'm going to do is here, whenever the box will be overlapped with our character, so get player ref, like this one. So with other actor, if it's equals to true, which is same. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this thing that's set system. Okay, so cast, I don't think I can get player BP from here. Cast to player Oh, it's I guess in the 30% BP. So let's purify it like this. Okay, now I can directly get the food data, like whatever item I have. So in item, get the items. Let me see if I can get it from here. No, not possible. Okay, so from our item, whenever it's doing the box collision overlap, it's going to be set from here. So for each loop of item, it's going to be try to assign it based on its needed. Okay, so for each loop, we'll pick out our set system, and I'm going to simply connect like this thing. So now you remember that we have a item of foods that we are picked. So once we have those items from here, it's going to be set at here based on if it's a food, water, or tomato. Now we also need to do one more thing. From the item, we have to basically remove those elements that we are, using. So suppose like if this one is gone from here, we have to say that, hey bro, this item has been gone. So now we have to somehow use, you can't use it more. So you even have the item below. So connect like this, remove with the water, and the item ref will be the object ref that we are bypassing the data. So which is from the element array. So it's going to be directly go with array 1, hopefully. Now I think we should have all the system to lastly check out the data. So we'll be use a G keyboard to check the for each loop data, what's going on in our for each loop, and we'll be do a simple print string, and we'll be connect with our display name. Now compile and save this thing, click on play, and let's try to pick the tomato and a bottle. Now let's create on G. So you can see we have a food 0 and food 2. Now at here, let's go overlap this thing, and voila, it's assigned at here. Now let's see what I have. You can see I have the food 2, which is it's removed the food item. So it's a funny thing. Now is I have now multiple bottles. I am able to get all of those. First, suppose like this, all the 3 bottles, and now I can pick more. And now I can go here. See, it's going to be assigned the 2 bottles. Let me see. See, it's going to be assigned all the 3 bottles. That is the funniest thing right now, and it's working fine. Even in a G, you can see I don't have anything. So we have the system done while we can able to pick up it, and also we are able to drop the item. Now even I have to make the reset system where after they pick up those, we are able to pick some more if we want, and we can assign them here. So far the system is done where we learned that picking the item, assigning on the sort. Okay, so I hope you understand. We will see you in the next tutorial of video, and stay well.